The Ohio State Senate has passed a bill that will defund Planned Parenthood in the state of Ohio through a 23 to 10 vote today. And this bill will be going on to our state house to be voted on in that state chamber. Now, I'm just telling you guys right now, my prediction is that it's going to pass in the state house, just like it passed in the state senate, because Ohio is one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. To just put that in perspective, Obama won Ohio with a couple 100,000 votes in 2012, and the Republicans nationally in D.C. have eight national representatives, and the Democrats have four in the national or the House of Congress. So that's how bad Ohio is when it comes to gerrymandering. It's no different at the state level. Now, the reasoning behind the defunding of Planned Parenthood in the state of Ohio can pretty much be summed up by what the mentally challenged, I would call it, state senate president by the name of Keith Faber had to say today at the vote. This bill is not about women's health care. It's about whether we want to fund an organization that has a senior leadership nationally, who, by the way, get money from Ohio, who believe it's good public policy to chop up babies in a way that makes their parts more valuable so they can buy a Lamborghini. Just let that craziness just sink in for a second. I mean, just let just sit there for a second. Can you believe how fucking insane, like, the stuff that comes out of these people's mouths? He thinks that Planned Parenthood, through the transfer of fetal tissue to medical research, organizations or universities, is making money, or making enough money, which they aren't. It's actually a net loss for them to buy Lamborghinis for their, national board of directors. I mean, I mean, that's just fucking it's just lunacy, man. And this is why I'm not a Republican. It's just because they're the crazy party. The Democrats have their faults. I tend to agree with the Democrats more than I disagree. I'm definitely a huge, Sanders supporter. But the Republicans are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy. I mean, it's just there's no reasoning with these lunatics. I mean, it's just they're so batshit, and that's the problem with the Republican Party. They'll take lies and run with them. I mean, imagine in football, if let's say a running back ran 80 yards down the field and demanded that he have a touchdown, added to the stat card when he didn't even have the fucking football in his damn hand, to begin with. I mean, that's how the Republicans are. Is they take the lies and they will run downfield, down into the, down the block, and, cross state lines, and they'll go to Pluto and back. Now, I want to explain for all the mouth breathing Republicans out there who don't understand how the transfer of fetal tissue works. Now, Planned Parenthood is an organization that provides a multitude of services, and 2% of those services are abortions. It's a very small percentage of their of what they do, but it's still something that they do, and they donate all their fetal tissue for medical research, and they will donate the fetal tissue to, let's say, like a medical organization or a university that will do stem cell research, and this this transaction, you have to transport it from the abortion facility to the place of research, and you can't just put it in a postcard. You can't just put fetal tissue in an envelope and mail it, or you can't just put fetal tissue in a bag with some ice cubes and have a flat rate United States Postal Service box and then ship it off to somewhere. You actually have to pay a company that specializes in the transfer of human tissue, whether it be actual tissue or organs. A lot of times when people are organ donors, they have you can tell them the license, and when we know that they're dead, we take their organs so that they can be used by someone who is on the organ donor list. But you can't just send these people hearts by mail. You have to actually take very special precautions in the transfer of these, whether it be organs or, in the case of Planned Parenthood, fetal tissue. and it costs, a little bit of money, or actually quite a bit of money. And Planned Parenthood is asking the people that are receiving this fetal tissue to help pay for some of the transportation costs. It's not, it's not something that is crazy to ask for. I mean, these people are going to benefit pretty much free of charge, and they're able to do stem cell research. But the Republicans would have it seem as if, the net loss that Planned Parenthood is taking in, they're making enough money to buy Lamborghinis. I know it's pretty bad shit. From a sane person, from a person who's not crazy, and a person who has his marbles up there, it's pretty crazy on the notion of a net loss will be able to buy you a Lamborghini. But that's just Republican brain work at work right there. And this is the last thing I gotta say, because I mean I can go on and on and on talking about how crazy Republicans are, but this is going to be the last statement from them. There's a committee chair, or he's the committee chair of the Senate. His name is Bill Cooley. He's from Liberty Township, pretty much middle of nowhere, Ohio. And this is what he had to say about the bill. The one thing you didn't see today was Planned Parenthood out there telling you that they have services close by to women that need those kind of services in rural areas. Cooley said after the hearing, the non-abortion services talked about today, they don't provide in rural Ohio. They're not there. That's not where their locations are. So the important thing is we're focusing on today is making sure that those services are more widely available to all Ohioans throughout the state. Now, Ohio is has a lot of cities. Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Akron, where I live, Youngstown, Toledo, Dayton. There's a lot of cities that have around 50,000 people, and Planned Parenthood can't have a facility in every little middle of nowhere township. They have to go where there's large populations, because they can it's easier for more people to access their services. They have it just doesn't make sense for them on a limited budget to have their facilities where there's only where they can only service, let's say, 2,000 people, where they can or instead they can have the same facility and they can be able to service 50,000 people. So it's just more batshit pandering. No use of the thing between your ears. And you know what? I've made jokes about Planned Parenthood before with friends. Or actually, I don't really have friends, so never mind. But I would make jokes with people or whatever about Planned Parenthood. It was like, oh, Planned Parenthood is racist because they don't make condoms for black people. I mean, look how fucking small they are. When they go make a condom for that can fit me or whatever. It's just me joking around. But Planned Parenthood is racist. Because I mean, like, honestly, their condoms to me are very uncomfortable. It's like having it's like the most tiniest condoms I've seen. But that's just me. But that's just me joking around, with people. But the Republicans, it's like me being, a politician who represents thousands of people and taking that, that little bit of bullshit I just said, and then enacting laws based off of bullshit. I mean, it's just that's why I'm not a Republican, and that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like this video, share this video, get the word out about what the the state level of our government is doing. People always are so focused on the national level, but the Republicans have pretty much dominated on the state level, basically due to gerrymandering. So, and then comment what you guys think below. Thanks for watching.